Ali madam malungil silsil moral bekladar no sabi iltun inen mertial cook another episode Oidel as o tulu ule ya malum tera Oidel as ay mara alas tel weekend en goram no ngaringat tel gibel sang lo sa amal me film mga gimal malas mat kurbag sa maman make sure lo aseng lo oil ngaring ya aku ka katsudo mo sira adre belal guk o mesringe tiay Oidel as mal dili ka lo ay sa waseng ngawak la mal nga niya klol al sungul dili ka meeting ni ngim dapat sa el lo kang geder el al sils mang el al sils ang lo sa ela tede magkakaroon el buigil belaw lo sa el mail guk join ro ide laas klol tutalel tiang kato ulam loading il show atong marang al wase ang aramong yung syuka nga rigid ang takal sa lungil sa long dodo ar maklo yan magkakarelo to ang ri kita lugro ko il diway segi mang adablo oil dilmuk ya igel dung ar adrablit ay kita dol tirak la ekaldung mangungil to hindi elang aduk sel domes ya mo ado basilul da sul wase kit sel bom 18 kung di mo 16 mo makal di mo 18 adam lang mo malaw do swil mo malu sa balot selbol temela segkyo ay gigi dia adola be o marang alwaseng gina dalguk mektiang ya wala share out do swit leng ang sokal mo tatsa botol tokoy ma teleta ma agel do mes el challenges el gidi ang ayas wagit tilung raw kanil bakal sukumen sokal mo madangi tokoy o manget yak mo nga adro o manget el mumay abol nga nga tigingel la social so kalmo madangi yak mo nga mikyan igel mulmay mong I think it's only appropriate ta do sa da tigingel nga yas ka maigel guk ka tokol o mesel challenges e dingi titira nga yas kal mera TMC el mer Oidel ase da how the sweet makotro ulak mal mera suliw nga Jericho Maido 20 rigil ya hotel boku dang liang sila adro olbi na bulur orior belum matang lakal adra bekta ng sports and then Ignacio Blaluk Katotau 20 rigil senior pala high school and then ang niya kato longong 18 na rigil buig nga mi I say buig nga mi el ngatiang mga malobri nga suliw no sub immune may ko de backstat tarkaw da ka bilkul misal mo ko makay ko la di mo ay selwase kabuy garigel adregel ngara ko mal interested ringil el al wayse osengem ngara ko osengem ra eko telal school ko adi magi ko kal smodara egan magi ko gidel maral me sel bodom lege don mura alta
nga ang klaka Katotau Ulengchong nga 18 argi proud son of Gusto Ulengchong and Sheila Alakat nga upmal Palau High School senior poto sa nga tokora sports ela sports el ngaringa whatever matra olak mo legal sports ning sokal mo mila health nga physical training ning tigdi nga apply during sa tuma sa timulo umegotor me kumaka my god
sige direkal kadulit tila gebal mo ngilaro ko sen dakadim elbang rangkang okay mo oro idring ya sports
nga klaka Ignacio Blaluk tira ko senior Palau High School 20 gig nagila Bradford Blaluk mamelani osar tira ko mral atra sports hindi mral di atra track dahil sa TikTok sports lulo coach nga Pioria ko shiba as of this moment ang trainer nga trial qualify mara Paris Olympics ra 2024 oy el
alir wayse el alir oy ngal buy
la ang ratchun with
almost train almost every day
yeah
ya Jericho
my name is Jericho Maido, 20 years old, graduate from Palau High School. I'm also the son of Romeo Maido and Elenita Maido. I was also a former swimmer, but I stopped swimming because of the law here for foreigners such as myself. I can't do much to represent the country that I love and the country that I grew up with. So because of that, it discouraged me to stop swimming. So I focused on my athleticism to a different sport. So I started weightlifting. I started bodybuilding at the gym.
Nice. Ali, that's very interesting. May بدو قام touch say. Kau kamil eller
Yes, born and raised.
For the viewers out there, di lo tingel was chirigo di mo to kam digel ding sa elo ring sa torbela. Understand? Paulak ti mo to torbela ni. Di ka mil eller tiam. Kau mar siblings ba?
Yeah,
Le kutun mo matang alakayo ka adra omigay.
yeah.
Mar siblings ba?
Yes, all of us.
Okay. And then nasa emlom teera a orior ra belaw games.
Yeah.
Di el al tiang sel tobdeng.
The only sports that we can compete in is micro games, but for foreigners that would also require us to have a citizenship or a stay in Palau for 5 years at most for us to compete in micro games. But for anything other than micro games like Oceania or Pacific games, that we can't go that far.
Tiyak sabihin.
Yeah,
Makarang mo sabihin, gidam lom teera.
we have to be a Palauan citizen by blood or be a Palauan holder for a passport.
May lang kau ko pa passport rin
Philippines.
Philippines. Sa emlom teera Philippines, abang dili ka diyak.
Competing in the Philippines?
I mean, can you represent the Philippines to go to Olympics?
Yes,
You can.
I can.
Okay. Then all you have to do is have a passport.
Passport, yeah.
Di ka abuy grebelo.
Yeah,
As far as you know, tiyagi daw mil niya tiyagi
it's
daw
my
mil
own
oli.
year.
Ang abuto ka lang ako, remember na former speaker or alam na marbo. Manibol malokol wasit tira ka abuy gretiyang. Agtero om gretiyang. Sel mering nga ka momta bringi. Di alla eh.
Yeah.
Ang alla sel bomsis para way sel teleta. In nga time where I reach out to more leaders for help.
No.
No, di ka tal. Mabong alwasing aral nga aral sa edro gyumi or maldiak.
There no
Maldiak.
no more. Every time it's always brought up, it's always, oh, you have to be Palauan by blood or at least half.
Sel luula sports.
Yeah.
Luula PNOC or luula
Is it the law
the law.
itself? Yeah.
May lang nga nga na omni del
Weightlifting.
weightlifting.
Lifting, yeah.
Sabi mo compete
No, I'm just doing it for personal gain.
for personal
Personal
gain.
gain, yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do now? You work?
I'm actually just waiting to go to college. I'll be leaving this July.
Elmore,
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Nara ko na may tsura ka.
IT.
IT.
Yeah.
Malumi ka na malos pero I think malabula ka kadingil. Mr. Blaluk. Nara ko na ila ka senior na pala high school.
Oy.
Nara ko na the swimmer. Nara ko na plans lang.
Plans lang nga after high school kung sa akin mo na gap year. Wala di train lang kita alara track. 1 year after ang sa mo trial apply West Point or Naval Academy mo nga school.
Eka. Ela.
Ella, the shooting at school, and after high school, akong soal nga 2 years sa PCC. After PCC, soal mora American, mo tsara talak, mo kilo mangin. And if we can so suyat, so scholarship receive. Lang nga LA.
Ela lang. California.
I see.
May ka 18, 20, 20.
20.
Hotel dari ka and then the bounce off ideas ko it's informal sel so la dulia sel mal so kal motat sel nga se el al senior pala school how way se klungin lang sel mo misra blur be laurogi ngarang sel mom tabringing igel ko ra cook to you personally challenges being an 18-year-old al ngar belaw raklangar malubang problems sa momes ngara something that you wanna kora mom sa ringi sa edal kora mo in depth mo di.
Malbuto, let me just mention this. It's like our youth, amal sorry mo do, but then our maklulngas maklulav, mo tiri lorings are magay like for example, kada kau toto kau the mom, ya the mom kung si pumluang ngayon mga the mom. Say the awal tokora like tokora galaw kung si mom do arong. But then high school, we made a club for all high school students that we can talk to anyone. So teacher kama Mr. Chi, Reblu Tukolya. I'm literally tell group for Mamal youth, so we can all be all one heart in one class. Like a role adra hanga ra ngarbes, ngarmis, topside, motang. So first time nga sel group mal to other share opinion ti one sa earlier de como se te lo ni le sol el modo tu di tamala como si inda may say nga the mom, but you know, in a respectful way. That's why a lot of problems are like happening. It's because of us, you know, youth are struggling because we're not heard. What we want to do is just want to be heard. Just like what you said earlier in the introduction. That's why also one nasa earlier like mo saying mlo start to malim le problem ni rapli le tamala you know abola mo dai. It's always in home. It's not youth. It's always at home. That's why beba tamak mo always like mo saying a survey among mirror ngal our parents. The parents are, you know, the heart of the house.
I see.
So it's really confusing why surveys are going to kids, not also for parents also. Because you also get their opinions.
I see. Lao mal hitra point mo wasing wal gire del what it la PTA meetings.
Yeah, we see.
Parents, teachers
and students.
Ding ulak pasing important dami ada du kita di madengel was in past few years and suicide especially our Miguel at mal makadugudum no nga I remember that time and lo almost every month and kam na nga why say ya part niya say del wasing moda kasi emel mga ngaraw do swim mga rarong lachen sa bululaf na moda kalwa nga mo lem rugul to kaya ngartiya malumra nga setial internet mga social media mal affect rigid in a way ngani am netagim ado do ang lomsa dringil wase nga mo ngegim kali ngegim nga school ngegim kayo ka malum ko lang rangal sab ekal bidal mesalay del modo udo tamo ka trawa ko roy ya damrael obviously in a couple of days. Now, ko lang mga video ringi, mga siyasing ringi, kamral morme, tanangulo la TikTok, tungulo la YouTube, tungulo la nang and then constantly to remind the how tokoy ka am lumru ringi, di gyabol oroido. Di malamol forever made that's what I look at pasel baby that time tial social media affecting niya malklo. Mal important lo sengem mesat tilang ngil antal sensen darulit al grupo
Reblu Tukolya, Mr. Chi.
That's tila maralu ngil tokoy lang bat mo. That's the first time I ever heard of that.
It's just recent.
Di nga na pala high school.
Di nga pala high school. Just for students.
Yeah. Para ko swaman.
Problem lagi sa larong ngayas for Palau mral tor mama mral mulam sarang mam di kimsa
Say.
Mral tor sa little lago quarter kasi ako mral mulam sarang di mral masay sa baby nga ka ak masay kiting ginakal mong soal balungin Klangar nga latrak lo kasi makmal try, malal musu. Baby classmates nga ako malal basay to nga kasi igon ko nga mo malal smart kasi hindi ako smart acti try. I try. Whatever it is I'm doing, I give 110%. That's what track taught me. Run through the line, not to the line. Yeah.
That's what the track taught you, eh?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Whatever I do, I give it 110%.
Yeah.
I run through the line and not to the line.
Run through the line and not to the line.
Thank you, Coach Po.
Ako dia poy ang kaya ako tsaraw.
Oh,
Kami sa episode ko magpoy am nastiang. Kamu ngay mo chika ringi Oidel aseng lestiang sila long odu indiri al malway daw.
oh.
Sila long odu ang nga adal guk malblol. Oramlo ase tiragi da diri al man help nga. So a lot of her life ang track. And then ang diri al man help ringi, so I understand where you're coming from through her. Diri al man no ko makail oras mo di so. How Jericho?
So your question is problems within in Palau, basically.
Yeah.
To me, what I noticed is there's no problem with me. I can always find a way to entertain myself with different activities, but the one thing I noticed is that there's not much activities for other people. It's always focused sports on basketball, volleyball, and baseball, but there are other kids, Palauan kids, who are more interested in different sports, but there's not enough that they can do or show because there's not a community of people coming together to do different sports to be active. So as they get older, they get bored and then they start drinking. And
Can you? I'm not sure sige the blood lecture ko eh. Alwasing makasa activity eh. And I do agree lang. Makal close other lang 46 ari. I have a lot of places I can go to and enjoy myself.
yeah,
There's bars that I can go to, but I mean I'm an adult, so there's canoe house in Chedrom. Oh, I got a good restaurant, karaoke, limang room, morae. I get rogu, angaringi. They're available for adults. When we come to your age,
yeah,
when you're not an adult yet, and then you're not a kid anymore, adolescent, teenager, you really don't have a place to go to.
Yeah.
Bowling alleys, there's
skate
batting
parks.
cages, there's all kinds of stuff to go
Yeah.
to. YMCA,
yeah,
malbatok pek padangil. Ulang pasang gidel mo club to pila the bertang mo because then kami amla mo senkyo. Okay? Ya imol to for a fact el gudong ali ang rogul adel more murto. A part of their platform is what? Youth is our future. That's something that from the beginning of democracy melmutre lang isel talur tangidil adeng seguida botuktob drangare. Arangas pa future gi. Gire del help arangas. And then here we are. Namote largi lablur belang since 1991. Anyways, malkamakal time. And then here we are lang. Ang ulak kasing important to sa other nga imol show gilsa nga TMC postmaster Asanuma at Palubak Santi Asanuma. Ni Father Rusk. Letal gumis na TV and it's like an old video footage of them sitting in a table like this, speaking to the camera. And what they were talking about, to get problems in our youth, is the same exact thing as we're talking about right now. And yakum dasto yung segi dia problem. We talk about it, and so we understand magitem na gitira nga sa kalmay madatmo. But what is actually being done about it? You know, saying youth is important, yeah, that's easy to say. But there's no place for you to actually go and
enjoy ourselves or
enjoy yourselves. Ulo ko mga kanya bookstore, mga klel, oboringi, coffee shop. I mean, I gigi datang songsen. So I do understand the. Hindi ka ne. So kalungwa, the sui will girel, al girel. Sera, couple years ago, ako miss ringi lang ringi angal kada pala high school. Al Mani nga pala high school, malu beta ngal kaigal high school, kaigal high school ngal oreo. El kier ollay. Yung tekera ngal along. At di mo along siya ko Oidel state tra oreo na mera school. And then tamagi sa tutaw, I'm pretty sure you guys have chores when you wake up in the morning. Nobody just wakes up and walks out because you're not living in a hotel. I mean, I can't blame you. So everybody ang aling chores sa team, tamagi sa gutmok and momreg, and then maybe have your lunch ready, and then you still have to get ready, uniform, all the preparations that you do and your parents do. And then from mga umarang alwasya, nga kirangan along, mag-iisra, maybe 5 in the morning. And then what happens from 5 in the morning and 3 hours later, then ito na mo itong okra classroom if they're on time. So that's 3 hours I'll spend na talsil. And then at mura class. And then how long is your class?
1 hour and 30 minutes.
1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I see. Actually, say nga karak nga school, ang class na pala school 1995. 1995 until again.
I wasn't even born yet.
Exactly. So, class na 1995. Let's 7 na classes sa kamama na talsil. 45 minutes sa one class. And then we have an hour break, lunch, maging mga public court. The public court lang nga chim ringi lang. That used to be called public court. Nari nga basketball court ringi, ma tennis volleyball court. El dible open, maging olmong yung basket say. El sueldo, el momreg es pido el muto mapala high school, el mura 6 period, ba 7 period. El clase el momreg el muto. Actually say, lak madangel was, tam narulyas study other education, madangel was, arangal ka, attention span 15 minutes, first 15 minutes, ako till important. So, in honesty, sel mga class, till 1 hour and 30 minutes. Buwa nga lang, umangal sila class 1 hour and 30 minutes. Sila nga, remember na class 45 minutes Di mo ka 15 minutes, 20 minutes, ak naman sa tuloy nga at katlo. Mas makambalang ang diyak. I wanna leave, I wanna get out, stretch my legs. At that time, na mo umaksulaw mo. Are you guys facing the same problems? Or is it malactive for 1 hour and 30 minutes?
I think it's worse than yours. Yeah, you 1 hour and 30 minutes, 30 minutes lecture. 1 hour lagi mo na subulang. So basically, apa na masay di tema la first period. Hindi first period ak naman bigoy.
I see. Namong sulang. And then, ato mo say dil met chirigo First 30 minutes ka namong sulang namong sumong iwan. And you sometimes fall asleep, right?
I see.
Kira nga meet.
I see.
Okay. Imagine kira nga awang nga gimot siringil dong okra sila. Ano all the swim ginil siya?
Nga ka, ang sabi akong makar, di sumong subject talo nga ka tao suwa ka, di mo space out. Mura di mo planggap talo. Di sumong kara subject talo suwa ka, waya physics or science, katalapet, full 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Sige na kamal.
Sumong suwa. Sumong atiyang.
No. Eka mal so science ma.
So
Kaya pali mo lo mas kulim mo lang style other story na science. I see. Eka chaligo.
I think it's not really the attention span that the kids have. I think it's the way the teacher engages themselves with the student. For what I experienced back in high school, there are teachers who I'm not gonna expose. They would like to compare their lives to yours, and then sometimes say like, "Who's better? I was better," you know. Other than that, there's also teachers who just like to get on with the lecture and get on with the day. There are other teachers who I really do appreciate as they engage with their lesson, what they're teaching. they make it so that the kids are more interested, the students are more interested to study, to learn what, say like math. Most kids don't like math, but there is a specific teacher. I'm not gonna say name.
Yeah.
The way he engages himself into teaching, I want to indulge myself more into what I'm learning, and I fell in love with the with the class. So I think it's more in the way how the teacher responds, reacts, or like engages with the students more itself.
Say mal important.
Yeah.
Because you say that the teacher that I remember that I will never forget, his name is Dr. Skaliski. Dr. Skaliski. He was otisa akra mila class ra Fullerton City College, and he was this short Jewish gentleman. And first day of class, what he did, kakura magkakare badingin. So first day of class, and may utungaw gungil may okra. Agagi dali el sila class mangi mama mangi ra sensor kama. Nga bang okol mo nga ko obultel ora melbo ra kama magigor obultel wasi. Man, I heard the teacher here is a real pervert. Ora iga magigor mo kadro nga si. Let's wait for him. Ora wai say mo kama mo ora say. What's his name? Nga kasi. His name is Dr. Skaliski. Magigor ora say. Ngora makalam. Nga start bro like club lu to ko ay sa kung kamakaram kasi oy baka mamakadara palmol mo mos makambalay nga magisuguto kung yelo kasi well naka-Dr. skills. And then he made the class so fun. El dia ko bes hindi na first day kama nga 28 kids 28 nga school. What he did was he started on the first kid was introduce yourself. When introduce ring cellphone marig ang number 2 agidel why gide sel introduce na kan momrek e bolkaw introduce na kan momrek e wasi oh, and by the way this over here ako my friend my classmate el Viera Toribio yang kam adregere magram momrek e smoothie, and then again number 3 introduce na kan momrek e smoothie gang e smoda. So by the end of this hour in class from the first day yak lamo mo dan treat tira ro kuil other to ko sel class and their background and a little personal thing about them. And then we all kind of had this class for the rest of the semester. We give no mrege lilut el mosig ngil sensera nexel. Le give nara tel 101 ya pura nexel class. So he made it very interesting. So that's til mal correct. Mal di moyoras a sensei el wasing marang al il. Mal musawler tila, that's very important. Now another thing that and then if you guys have any specific thing that you want to talk about, please feel free. Dadi abado. Adiri kal so kalungaw the swil ringia. The swil girela methamphetamine drugs. It doesn't have to be just methamphetamine. Nga kamla aurere kal black si ringia. Amlo matigal wasing ngalingar kids using butane. You've heard that, right? You've heard that?
No.
Have you heard about that? Means butane will inhale and then they hallucinate. And not just that, I remember a few years back, high school in Miligi, Motorob grip tabay ice, methamphetamine lobel. There's been cases, fighting, stabbing, all these things. Atama mura tokora traksi so kalong the swil giden. If I'm not mistaken, a few years back, methamphetamine will niya $100 or whatever that. But that same exact quantity, al seals, alul traringi tamla ay sarbulis man other brut or was it namul traringi $25. That tells me wasing manamo club. So have you ever we don't have to name names, but I want the public to understand that are you guys facing this komesang or sa limil so mi ko ogi kertin mo matamal lang para tingin mo gidel se
Ondam Manya sa ali grip mo sa mga huk sa ali lulus pa igal klal. Hindi ingal sa ali la sa alik. Dekal sa alik. Manguktim le artikel mention ringi el mo ko siya damos pa igang. Diktim le o mesering sumong mo problem up tul ya mo during. Hindi namadalos pa no Ultim na swal experience.
Isil mo meseng cloud problem or wamak lungiw or hindi kalsa.
It really depends on where they're at.
Where they're from.
Yeah.
Ora,
Kikita sa ali hukman le ngara kira amal tukot al basyo.
oy,
Musaligang hukman din putri nga maatak.
maldiyor ar adlo batteri.
Ilang kakatumal po eh.
Oh.
Kakahukman ko dun. Sa alili na hukman preparing. Engo, hindi ko lang yung choice nga. Hindi ko lang yung try. Mga lusper nga. No, hindi mo lang lug.
Eka Mr. Blaluk.
Nga ako, dakar sa alil, maralos pa ikil al par. Di tamakabulis ma serak kaya yang dimle aktim le kaya yang sa tarang ako kasi ika makngit hindi ako darul. Ito lang ako nurse, mang direct ko maral pressure nga ako kasi na ika tiyak lungil. Sabel matamalak lang aral so di one time mo spe akati mo arit emo tiyak sabel mo stop. Mang sel bebel
Miltak daw.
oy
makabalat na sa amlut.
of course ngani curiosity sige la bebel raata ko lamo fall victim to it. Tamral mo curious kasi ay kang mral maknit at mo try emro mo atik mo say that problem or two.
No, I've never.
You stay away from it so you never associate yourself with anybody that
No, yeah.
it's something el gureng alwase ulugo mong tarak labaseng mo dia kalabalul belaw. Yang nga Malagay mo Marines. He's in the Marines now. Lim Toribio. Di na madinig kay. I think yung tiwa katamam. Bigo siya murut raw yun di mesaygang yung makarang ali mamal din 4th grade. Yak start mo do. Mal dim na kungi nan dim na kalsukal masate al dim na kalodong ali. Il kabrul mo. Mal din na kay sa tel balgoringi o ay seringi into detail. Lang neswakal bol understand dal wasit yang rakla. Lang makamlet tal el kana amerikano logo through training el nom sa dra methamphetamine. Et tingila gid ro huil ingredients. Rangal klan. El malo arbe hula table ro. Yagi mo omes. Not one of them would I put in my mouth as it is. And then akor omes and then I question and was but then they put it all together. It would mix ringi ringi ottabadi and then you put it in your mouth. Like kumulo tungira ba ngeme. Sige ramal imol toil. I don't get it. But I've never been an addict mong dak understand ringi dak sabi da judge na. Di sell I get ingredients la ulang mal mo utik mal utik klan malo ogring I get role opportunity sa ekal ngul mo masawa ringi malubak ko ay sa buli sa ako dangi. Dak oil ruli. Leng I mean, kaya diwa mo ay gero hul gikyong klalul da kamul mera ko dangay malo dak tagem emsong osin mo mle kasi memo mo. It doesn't make sense. And so akmal ang kora mo ginalo ko dong sumin mga adul why say and I know you're not ignorant so you know there is. Palau so please igigit ay gil del gumda so ngiri kay ngesel make sure wase sel omesang and report. Igigit ako ramle. And then sel so kalmo ko singiura opinion na kami ura abalumi ura alta kabalwa lubelo gora wangarang aklangar sel ko kasi wangarang aklangar kami yung kami ang kanya adra blaming do you see changes past a few years or anything that you can see micro different that's affecting your lives? Is there anything that gor omum da suringing say di ako ra so man mum sa dangi or
Well, so I'm sorry, tele. I think it's betul ada dim sorry, tele PTSD. Before PTSD, orang mamle pati ulbet tak ngar. Di siya sa illegal merbelaw, limlof island de merbelaw. May dilo nga ako siya, ato ang kamo of alam de memro nga ako siya, ato nga mo ka merbelaw. Maktruk mo siya nga, tia sokal basong otul lungil
Bulwat.
ba araw isay bulwat. Hindi nga dito nga mo si ulong Piotr ko, lemam atalam matamam dito ko masyero ko. Makasta to realize nga kung ako siya kapay mo tara bulu stero pelaw. Level ako lokim draw. And mak really
Tang
about
sa liman
that.
mo duro ka lang siya.
Mm.
Oo.
Wait,
Kira outsider well.
oy. Ako yung nakali.
Oo. Ya, pinenda ka dulu ko.
Wait, see. Sa idol pitch is ma tara come
You can see Adrablim.
Yeah, so yeah, my mom left because of short of work. Yeah.
Musikat tara.
From the outside.
Eka Mr. Blaluk.
Mral direct nalukok mo sa trapichi esti. Dan detail sa ina ako ramral call chance blak notice ringi la serak kawel mere lang. Nga ramral dak adal nga ko tra anti social sa level mo dak sa doktor. Tital doktor to sok para school or sok para tra. Other than that acting rabli or acting regular other blue. So from the PTSD mral call chance blak isang.
Sim do asing clothes change and can you be more specific?
Call chance like
Manigad na sa BL na mula
oy mangais malam lamom ni laral
Angais.
ada lalu so tahu instead of 85 cents 75 cents ang lamo talat stela malam to malam keluar udah del mu del PTSD la dim la sal lungil la dim la plan out ringil malam mongil tala malam le rush ringi la pno tel sbel so sige la ulang malam to problem or other pelo lo pangil to PTSD
Balik ka malaptukan man fly out.
I think the one thing that I noticed is the businesses, like WCTC and other businesses. Like my mom, she's been working with WCTC for many years now, many years. But now that the PGSD is already here, the one thing that didn't happen for most foreigners was the mandatory race. Yeah,
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen for foreigners.
For the first time?
No, never.
It didn't happen before PTSD? Or it happened?
The mandatory race came after the PGSD, I believe. So while everyone started, most of the locals, they started getting raised. Most people are starting to get above minimum wage. The foreigners stay the same, 350. And with all this gas price, all the prices going up, it's hard for most people to make a living, especially for I know most of my mom's friends, my dad's friends, they're all married to Palauans, and even the Palauan or the husband or the wife Palauan is having a hard time trying to support the family because their spouse, who's also a foreigner, is not making as much, so it's hard to make a living. So
wow. So with that being said, if you got an opportunity, ako senior, pala high school. Silbo mrege ko dem taraklo sem tobo dan bral mo bilboto babalu. Mora school, Macau direct, Macau. Do you plan? Is it part of your plan to come back? So I'll watch it go bre mal dem bre So and then I want you to be honest. Ako manang wasit niya kaninga abod really. Nga kamatingin was our leader sa Blue Bella o Mr. Calcio. Giril mesang gida ka student city. Giril mo understand. So I want to get your opinion on that. Why?
Because of many encounters that I have and other opinions that I have from people who's been working in Palau for many years. Majority of them have worked overtime, but it's not paid. And another that my mom is always complaining about is she would work overtime, half days, even on her off days, they would sometimes call her in and she would work until midnight and they would only pay her with bento. So
they would pay her with
bento. So that was one of the things that not made me want to come back here and work, but although it's better, you make compared to the Philippines, currency is a lot different. So what you're making here is more there. But if you think about it, it's about the same when you're making a living. But the thing is, when you're making a living here, it's not much of a difference.
Of course, gusto ko lumut mer Palau, like after ako nga school, the while mel orior la tiakal sa mga plans nga gusto ko mo orior ang brigel lang malal to ka opportunities sa brigel lang klol blue and di ulong sa mer Palau until lobes pa sa nga ka other Palau akna sur akna mo surya batol blue namora brigel namora Shaval, namora Saibal, Kwam, and the Mlalta kal Palau. Hindi ka blood mo kayo Palau. So al mall mo may para the vacation, chaklar AW kal mo certier, marokok mara legal sumakurir.
That's probably the same thing. Ako sumakti mer Palau. I go vacation, tsaka sa alik. I mean, Palau is my home base, but it's better making benefits outside.
Like, in all the episodes that we filmed here, Oidel, to me, this is very, very interesting. Mal close to tell. Tangale, Mr. Blaluk kung waigel bulo ko. O singira na mayasa ka. Mo nga ka nung operteng kura mal mo makita mo. Liang nga kadya kalso ka lim. Dia kalso ka nga ligay kalbring lap teril lom basura. Yan dia kalangan aliw. Kami wangan aliw, ako marangal wasyangan aliw, malbla ka ng mga school. Wala make sure wasa kom healthy. Stay away from all the bad decisions that you make. And if you do make a bad decision, learn from it and then move on. Di tial sel mo ado dingale lapter mi o wa blabol dingale lapter our parents. Which to me I do not agree with atik. Tiabalwak, tiyayakotin. Kagirem ng artiyang enjoy your time as being a kid. And then, mumula ka nga school. And then, move forward, rak lang arakal mo, murulay ay gire. Ay gal mo loko, mal important, mangirir mo clone, mo understand, kasi even our kids are affected by this. They do think about because you do love your parents. Mabati ka ng mirror at rabli mo, misal mo team lam at mura ringel, hindi ka mo affect raw. May sendya ka kung daso yung aramong si Emil Maral mo kasi suwakal mga matiyang. Elang isil labong yung kumis na langal kita na mo malang mes. Tanam mo to imo rin abok titingin wasi illegal sa way. Lang no matter what gida bati ka arong at rabli. At rabli di matukot bati ka ng video. Mong say gida ako may saringing important message sa lungul, Mr. Abrablo, matukok mesang sa igidal o sa inyo, lengklod to talil. Elang sil, imora, tukol meso kalmotat sa inyo, ako na so mal important, sir omeng, gel, ape, amnarteng, imilsada akal na, raum. Mang meso ako bom, touch or say, leng, nga ka-remember, few years back, if I'm not mistaken, at the remove hapto magetchabra menu, right? And then removing a menu because it's unhealthy. They said, sel luto pa dito kasi mag-closer. Aringi, manda kalungin, makaram. So ako kami ang asko high school, ako mamuraum Okay, makabukol mo raum. You ate at the cafeteria. So I want your opinion. Talk about what do you guys eat? Ngaraw the swil girel, mukha di mo touch your sale because I know it's very important. O mga school ng girel lumila ka So,
kalam ra, buma di pangger, cereal. Maybe tang mo fried rice.
Al breakfast?
Breakfast.
Kami ko mga cereal al breakfast. High school.
Maybe tang may fried rice, saka mga unong kara experiment.
Oh yeah.
Adi tuwa kanggo meringi manapa long beans, celery, kara mixture. Ngotol block to nga siya rangalit.
It's like whatever they think is healthy, they just dump it in there.
Yang nga adjiringi.
Ngaringi nga sini.
Yang nga tel.
Ngaringi tel. Di ba tam cook sa mixing nga corned beef. en group mo paparan
Oy.
takasiringi mo bebe tama ko gera sara amamang sirigang mo takasiringi
Ya, swell.
swell ba
Sa lunch nga na.
ang mal bebe tam malungi la asira kal
Oh,
di bebe tam tu trick experiment ta lunch
Oh, experiment na kami. Basta yung ginapagilid niya. Eka, Mr. Blaluk. Ano nga ang dilil so kung bipit ringilan.
Oh.
Kung sa rin nga, kura, undang nga nakalo kamlo na.
Kanya bebel tumlu lakal ang sa maloni ni beef stew belaw.
Beef stew ba lang?
Ang royal soup hindi insira potato toast kukaw apra. Kora mix bebel lang lan mo ngila asir ni kora mo surprise kora mo das kasi akpay mo lakal lakal wes rabli. Isa bebel lang kora mal mongo ta asir ni kora mo dalsal so mo. Bebel lang cooked consistency ni kora ti texture ni dal sa lang ang dimote.
It has to look good to taste good. Ma'am. You know, experience. You were laughing, that's why I agreed.
Honestly, I can't really complain much because during my time before they started having this health stuff going on, our food was great sometimes. So majority of the time it would be good. Sometimes, yeah, they would experiment, so it would be like wasted effort because
Then a lot of food goes to
a
waste.
lot of food goes to waste. Yeah.
mabuto ka mo ito
Yeah, so but this breakfast thing that was new. When after my class year 2021, they started doing the breakfast thing, so that's still new.
Okay. Ano nga, is there a particular thing that you might want to talk about? I'm going to give you 10 minutes sa din. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Each person gets 2 minutes. You say whatever you want to talk about. It can be different than our subject. It can be on something. Sige, whatever you want to say. 2 minutes. Alam mo lagi ako yung sino.
I see. Okay. Tel ko nga mo basically religion, church or mom. Tele am ko la Biblia. So basically it's like Christian church that comes together and you know we all have fun but at the same time we're praising God. So nga kamle mo Jesus mo sa balik at 2020 I was 20. Kadam lo ngilar I'm really proud. I was like really religious in the first day. It's always when you first open your eyes, that's when you see God, when you get saved. But as time goes on, combo like you know, okay, I already love Jesus. You know, Jesus always forgives me. So let me just try something new. So, but then my friends from Wala Biblia, Amal you know, also religious. So they always come and help me and say, hey, don't get drifted too much away because, you know, Jesus is always watching you. No, they because so they always tell me to bring, like, you know, come back. Especially guys, bakla yeah, total so because they really help me and benefit me from my future also. Lang di klaro na ke dangalo dangi dukunik masek mo makarang sumakmak na ba. All of us first ali you know help ra. That's why ko la Biblia. Ada ko kara tek help ra lo mesra ngamata time.
Nice.
Like people time mo I don't know what to do. So I pray. Like I don't know what to do. I just need God to give me a sign. Yeah.
You.
Nga pa laati mo sa track. Track and field is a really hard sport. It requires a lot of discipline, commitment, and dedication. And it's I say from in my opinion, it is the only sport in Palau that trains the hardest compared to other sports. Track, weightlifting, and swimming. I think those are the 3 sports that train year round and don't really take breaks. And I don't think it gets the attention it deserves. Because in like, of course, we're deeply influenced by Western ideals. So basketball, baseball, baseball we can understand, it's our national sport. Basketball, volleyball, it really takes a lot of the notoriety because of pop culture basically, and track, swimming, and what else did I say? Weightlifting. Those are three of the sports that mostly go to the Olympics in Palau, and we don't get the credit we deserve, and we don't get the notoriety that we also deserve. Yeah.
Thank you.
I would just like to go back and talk about the food system that they have in
Yeah.
PHS. So, and when I started bodybuilding, there's a lot of things that I learned, and no food is unhealthy when it comes to building yourself up. If you're doing the right training to burn that excess food that's in your system, so that would also come to my conclusion with the activities and sports that kids should have these days. So they're over here making plans about the food, but not enough to keep the kids healthy. So when I was doing bodybuilding, it was always calories, protein, and I would always burn that out to build muscles when I go to the gym. So I'm always lifting whatever I eat. I would burn the same amount I eat, or maybe more sometimes. So I believe if kids, you put whatever on their plate, they'll eat,
Yeah.
and with the right amount of sports, they can burn that out as energy. So
Okay. Kung daseng mal lomtera TMC mal mrenga sulim. Leng tiako tuklo tutrel blabot mokal toy etiam la mga lapil el momadel. E momral matomis ringa ya ko tel important el part traigang asel imora kaya uy baligang adal ngaray kel tiange omdas lo segal adimon delengek. But when sell lo mesra wa maklungi will dire lo maklungi lo sa that mo understand lo say yes it's nothing different for me. E gagi de lo si give share so they can relate, and then hopefully lo say our leadership rabulur bela o mes all rings bulbul nga bulgul ay gil tigin sel tal bulur tet mo wasa nga sa impakot important tar nga sa future rabulur bela, because if you say it, you have to invest in it, and invest in it nga mo ngila bulur. Egal blam dunga man important le ako to core problem dire do mesringi sual murak te dar other bela wa sugal ma obesity ma all these things. But as I look at it, not the change. There's a little change that I see. Why? Because el tema la funeral, if you pay attention, at funerals magal masang what ngal lilum la otul modia water. Anong sisi malimaran. So that's something gila the message being optimistic about to say we can learn from it. Akman na mistera nga kana mubuto kasi hindi ko limasota. Mang ay gigil little things, but it's important little step by step. But akmal kaminder kami el bagay el merteng yung mga do nakakakuha mo klungiw and dahil sila adal sual mo okra mo la camera le masada ga akmal kaminder kami mal mo kasuli mal ay sila say anytime. So mi un may ako request man so may kita sa classmate kami emedo sa hopefully wasing nga mga mo klungil after this diregal mal ura kasuli ul mesa nga ringel nga atrablim. That's very important. Leng kung dasong important ta atrablim self sacrifice nga rae nga mga ladama mga rae to make sure I get will that you need to go to school uniform nga ra gehul o email mo ra yung I'll provide the atrablim. Nobody is dropping you off at school if el wish was singal nga likal bombolo lang ay sila lang marijuana bulo ka dia. I think every parent they sweat blood and tears and all these things to make sure was kami a priority. So when you come and you say that thing, I hope they do see what they're doing. And I hope all the kids will understand that parents are thinking and another thing, what you all said about PTSD, I want to assure the public this was not planned. I asked the question, you answered it in honest truth. Malungil. Ungil was como hotel the swim man meu matadiri mo understand the role was oy kila dingar o sisul el blue rock we ya ka mal lo nga suliwa adra kumul le tune in el mera Oidel as gore mok club ringiu ma balwadra blue bela o ma next Tuesday ya game dilunga mal important say hi to Chan Club for me. Always have group of friends and material adults and dependent, you have their back and they'll always have your back. Okay? Manusulang ako next Tuesday.